What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade, basketball analysis coming to y'all with that rookie analysis. I'm gonna give you the 12 best rookies, what they have done so far this entire season, what they have been doing lately, and why I have them positioned at the position that I have them. Number 12, AJ Griffin. I went 12 deep because his season stats is 9 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. He has shot decently from the field, decently from three. He can knock it down. He can get out in transition. He's a solid defender, not great or amazing, but good for a rookie. He also doesn't play a ton of minutes, but he's been one of the best rookies when he does play. He's athletic. He can create a shot a little bit off the dribble, can hit a mid ranger, can get to the basket and finish with a layup or a dunk. I like what I have seen out of AJ Griffin when it comes to stats and the fact that he is an NBA ready body. He has shot the ball better than I had thought that he would at the NBA level. The NBA three is a little further. You would think that he'd have a little bit of trouble, but he hasn't. He has guys that can set him up. He can be a camouflage type of player where he can move without the basketball and knock down threes, and also can do a little bit of a backdoor cut, something that I want him to see him do a little bit more because I think he can be a live threat and a guy that can get some easy buckets off that a little bit more often just because they don't pay attention to him enough. But he only plays a certain amount of minutes. He has been great within those minutes, and I have loved what I have seen out of him as a role player. And I think he has a bright future, even if it's not with Atlanta. He can be a 3-and-D guy, something that he has already proven already. Number 11, Andrew Neihardt. I feel like he has done a great job of being a solid backup point guard. You look at it since the ladder, which is this month, 10 points per game. He also averaging 3.5 steals, 1.5 points. He can shoot the three. He can shoot the mid range. He can get a layup going in. His season stats is only 8.5 points, 2.9 rebounds, but he is averaging 4 assists a game. That's quality for a backup point guard to be able to find guys, whether it's cutters or shooters, being able to get out in transition and just being a humble guy that understands how to play the point guard position, kind of like a vet out there, but he's still learning how to defend. He's still learning how to score, and he still projects as a guy that can possibly be a starter in the future if he can continue to score at the level that he showed that he possibly can. If he can work on his off the dribble ability and his ability to knock down spot ups and his ability to set guys up even in an up tempo type of environment, he can be a very interesting point guard in the future. Even if it stays as a backup. Tari Eason, I like what I have seen out of him. He has been one of the best rookies this season. That's why I have him at 10. This is where the best of the best have been, is in that top 10. 13 points per game, 8 rebounds, 1.7 assists. He looks pretty good recently. They need somebody that can stretch the floor in Houston. They need somebody that can knock down jump shots and give Jalen Green and those guys space. Tari has been able to do it from day one, and he's still able to do it now. But his rebounding has been impressive, and the fact that he's unselfish and willing to play off the ball and not get in the way while still being able to contribute offensively is what makes him very impressive as a rookie. And that's something that teams are looking for, a guy that can space the floor, give quality rebounding, and also being able to do things a little bit off the dribble if needed. Not really a necessity, but being a stretch four is important to the game more than ever now. And Tari has a good job and abilities to do those things right out the gate. And he has been even on the level of number 9, Jabari Smith, who hasn't been able to shoot the ball efficiently and hasn't been able to score the ball very well. But since he gets the minutes and the opportunity and he has size, he has been able to take advantage of that. This guy is giving you 11 points per game, 7 rebounds and 1 assist, which is decent. But you just wish he can shoot the ball better from the field. You wish he can finish the ball better at the rim, score with more power, using his length and his size to dunk the ball, being more aggressive, looking for a shot. His mid-range game hasn't been where it needs to be. He has the size and ability to shoot over smaller defenders, even in switches and mismatches. He just doesn't have the strength and the confidence to do it. He has the opportunity to be a great spacing big, but he can't knock down the three consistently just yet. And his career has been a lot of a disappointment this season. He has everything built physically. It just he has to get the skill, the IQ, the strength, the knowledge when it comes to knowing how to utilize his handle and his size to his advantage. Even in certain situations, being able to drive, even getting space and creating space and being able to hold guys off when he goes to the basket and just having more moves in the repertoire to be able to score. He seemed a lot more raw than people thought. I was lower on Jabari Smith because of that, and I knew that he wouldn't translate perfect into the NBA, but I never thought he had struggled this much offensively just because he can be a stretch big at best, but he can't even knock down shots consistently, even if he's wide open, even if it's from mid range, even if it's a layup, he struggles even finishing around the basket sometimes. And it's just a shame to see it. But he has a lot of potential because of his size and his height and his touch. Jalen Duren has been amazing. He has climbed up the ladder to number 8 to me. He has been great being able to rebound the basketball, 8 rebounds a game as a rookie. And remember, he is coming off the bench in some of those instances and being able to be having 93 dunks already. And the fact that he came off the bench and was able to show that he has a move that nobody can stop. He goes hard, he goes aggressive, he goes with force and power, and he's strong, and his body still can get stronger. His athleticism still can get better because he can be in better shape. And I feel like his IQ can improve, and I feel like he has a good touch. I feel like he also can get good blocks around the rim. He also can be a good guy that can cover a lot of ground and be a good help defender and be a guy that can reach in and grab some deflections and grab some steals. He can be an anchor defensively if you give him some more patience with his IQ, give him some better timing, and give him the ability to learn through his mistakes and learn through rotations and learn guys' tendencies. He can really be a good guy in that interior and really be a stalwart type of guy. I love what I have seen out of him as a rookie. He's been one of the best rookies this season, and I only can see him climbing up this ladder. To me, when I look at Jeremy Sohan, he has been flat out amazing for what he has been. He just had a 30-point game. He never been known for his offense really in college or high school, and even in the NBA, he's averaging 10 points, 4.9 rebounds, 2.5 assists. He's a do-it-all type of guy. He just doesn't have the mid-range or the three-point shot, but he can get to the basket. He can do little push shots. He can dunk the basketball, and he is a guy that's very quick and very smart, and he can fill up the stat sheet pretty well. And I love the fact that he's a guy that can really understand his role and not get in the way and try to force things or try to be something that he's not. He understands what he's great at, and he doesn't mind maximizing his potential either. So his ceiling is, I don't really know what it's going to be, but I love the fact that he can do multiple things very good, and he has the ability and the want to do it very well. And that just means he can be a jack of all trades type of guy. And if he's able to do that now, just imagine what he can do in the future with stern, hard coaching from Greg Popovich. Jaden Ivey, he fell down to me. He was top 3, but he really hasn't took the mantle from Cade because he had the ability to be the primary scorer, the primary decision maker on this roster, and he hasn't been able to do that. Although he is averaging 15 points per game, 4 rebounds and 4 assists, you thought that his numbers would be a little bit more inflated because they had no Cade at all. But in other words, it has stayed the same. His efficiency has dropped, but it's just because he has more opportunities to have the ball in his hands. He's not the greatest shooter, not the greatest floor spacer. He's a good guy in transition. He's quick at getting to the rim, but he has to find a way to use his soft touch to his advantage, looking for a floater to me, looking for ability to stop and pop and hit the pull up mid range would be a good idea. And just being able to take his time and hit a spot up 3 will just do wonders for his game. This guy should be averaging more points and more rebounds and more assists to me, just because the opportunity is there. And when you can penetrate at will like he should be able to, you should be able to find more guys more often. He never was a great playmaker in high school or in college, and he hasn't been a great playmaker so far in his NBA career, but the potential is still there. When you have that much athleticism and that much quickness, it's going to be situations where you can just keep your head up and find guys, and it's just going to be easier the more you get comfortable in your role and comfortable where your teammates is going to be at on the court. And that just come with experience and knowledge of playing with the same guys, which he's going to have the luxury possibly of doing in Detroit. And then maybe he can become a better ball handler and playmaker and decision maker, but his offensive game is going to have to increase if he wants to be a special player in the league. When I look at Keegan Murray, he has been exactly what I thought he would be, a guy that's very mature, a guy that understands how to score the basketball, and a guy that can rebound very well. I mean, this guy's averaging 6 rebounds per game so far in January. That's pretty good. And then you look at the fact that he's still giving you double figures in points. He can hit the three. He can hit the mid range. He's big enough, strong enough, fast enough to get to the rim, to get to the basket. He can dunk the basketball. He can finish with a layup. He can get out in transition. He's like the perfect role player in today's game, just because he can do all the skill things that you need a guy to do, but he has the size and the length to play multiple positions and be switchable. And I think that makes him a unique player in this draft. That's why I love Keegan Murray as a player, is because he gives you potential because of his shooting and his scoring, but he also has potential defensively to guard multiple positions and be tough. And also rebound, so you don't give up too much of advantage on the switching. So I love what I seen out of Keegan. He has been a solid rookie, and you just hope he can continue to shoot the ball pretty good or better as the season go on. Shooting is not easy; it's the toughest part of the game outside of defense. And a guy that passed him up is Walker Kessler because of his defense and rebounding. This guy has averaged 10 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists per game, mainly in January, and that's been pretty consistent, almost a double double each and every night. 7 points, 7 rebounds on the season, just being able to finish strong, just being able to protect the rim, and just being able to rebound the basketball decently is something that you expect a 7-footer to do. And he has been able to do that. He has been a steal of the draft, giving them everything they need: size, strength, rebounding, and screen setting has been essential to what the Jazz are trying to do with the spacing that they have and the scoring that they have on the team, and a guy that don't want to get in the way, and a guy that understands that all I have to do is man this paint and be strong in there. And I feel like he has accomplished those goals so far, and he's the fourth best rookie. A guy that has moved up all the way to third now is Jalen Williams. I thought that he would be good as a rookie because he's very mature. He understands how to play the game the right way. He's a guy that can handle the ball. He's a guy that can pass. He's a guy that can rebound. He's a guy that can break the defense down and get to the basket. He's a guy that has a decent mid range pull up, and he just got to improve his 3-point shot. He averaging 20 points, 4 rebounds, and 1.3 assists in the last couple weeks. That's very impressive. I can see that continuing in the future as the opportunity can be there, as they're going to need somebody to start. And you look at the numbers: 12 points, 3.9 rebounds, 2.8 assists. That's a guy that can do multiple things, and you can put the ball in his hands and he can do damage, and he also can play a little bit off the ball. You just wish he can shoot the 3 ball just a little bit better, and then he can be a lot more dangerous, and his numbers can be impacted by that positively, and a team can have better spacing, and then they can be a tougher team to defend. And he also can put the ball on the floor and make a quick decision, which he's already able to do, but he still needs to be a threat from the 3-point line to be more dangerous at it. And I think that that's something that I like about Jalen Williams. He's a do-it-all type of guy. He just has to up his scoring, and I think that'll be something that he can do. And then when you look at the best rookies, it's still the same too. Benedict Mathurin, this guy averaging 24.7 points, 6.3 rebounds, 2.3 assists in his last couple weeks. That's pretty good, but as a season, he averaging 17 points, 4.2 rebounds, 1.4 assists. Those numbers are down as the season has continued. His efficiency has went down as the season has continued, but he's a decent guy. He's athletic. He's exciting. He can really get hot if you don't pay attention to him. He's explosive, And I love the fact that he's fearless. This guy will come at you and try to score on you any type of way, and he has the confidence to be able to do it. I do one day see him having a bigger role with the Pacers just because he fits and is like the polar opposite of Tyrese Halliburton, but he has more upside than a Buddy Hield. But he has to learn the game, how to defend better, how to rebound better, and how to score the ball just a little bit more efficiently, a lot more smart, and turn down some of the ego shots, the pride shots. And I think he'd be fine as a player, especially if he can play a little bit better off the ball, kind of like Buddy Hield is able to do. But he can do a lot of damage on the ball, and he just got to improve defensively. But most rookies aren't great defenders, so it's not really a surprise that he can struggle there, especially that he has the length and the size to play the position. It's just getting the strength and getting the stamina to be able to do it for 38 to 40 minutes as a young player. And you look at Paulo Banchero, this guy has been Mr. Consistency, 20 points per game, 6 rebounds, 2.8 assists. That's basically what he's averaging: 20 points, 6.4 rebounds, 3.7 assists. His efficiency has dropped just a little bit, but just because he has to work for every shot, he's a slower guy. He has to put them to sleep with the post shots and the push shots, and he's a solid mid-range shooter, not the greatest three-point shooter, but he really does take his time when he's trying to score the basketball, and that can make some shots more difficult. It can make some shots more tough. It can make some shots more congested, which means your efficiency can go down because of that, and the fact that he's a bruiser. He likes the contact. He likes the physicalness of the game, and that can make the game a lot more uglier for him too. But I overall love what I have seen out of Paulo, a guy that can really get you a bucket in any situation. He can even play off the ball a little bit. You do want to see a huge growth in the three-point shot just because you don't want him to be your primary decision maker as a player. You want it to be a point guard, and even if you run the offense through Paulo, he's going to score more in the mid-range, but he's not the greatest mid-range shooter, and he's not the greatest finisher, and he's not the greatest athlete. So I think that you want a guy that can set him up and make his job easier, and you want him to be able to stretch the floor just so he can play the 3 and the 4 and be a mismatch if they switch a lot, because he can post you up and he can shoot it over and he can knock you around in the paint and in the post and get easy basket. He did it in college. He did it in high school. He's doing it in the NBA. It's just a lot more tougher because guys are his size. Guys are just as long as him. Guys are even more athletic than him, so they make it a little bit of a tougher transition. But it's still an impressive rookie season for him because he has done the exact same things. It just he's doing it, you know, against tougher competition. But other than that, it's impressive, for him to be able to take his game and do it at the highest level and be A-OK. But it's still a little sloppy. It's still a little, difficult. But, I think a point guard can really make his job a lot easier and a lot more smoother. And it can raise his efficiency and make him a lot better player and a lot more dangerous. The more space you get and the more you can do, the more easier it is for the entire team too. So other than that, continue to like, continue to subscribe. Quinn Wade, Basketball Not signing out. Check my podcast in the description. Like on Facebook. Other than that, see you guys later.